Hi, my name's Rachel Stern. I'm the founder and managing partner of GovTech Ventures, and this is the first episode in a periodic series on how to build and sell into state and local governments. I've been doing this for 15 years, and if you've ever wondered why your go-to-market strategy isn't landing, you're not alone. Let's start with the fundamentals. So, if you're investing in this space or you're selling into this space, you're navigating a matrix of decision makers. You've got procurement, you've got IT, you've got legal, you've got finance, you've got elected officials, all with different incentives and veto power. And the reality is every one of these players is putting out a million little fires every day. So successful GovTech go-to-market is figuring out which of the three fires are keeping them up at night most and how you can solve one of them quickly with low risk and clear impact. Governments really prioritize efficiency without disruption. They want support and implementation over a sleek user experience, and they really want proof that someone else like them has made this idea work. And the thing about customer discovery is it is so, so, so important in government. And also, it's very expensive for a company building in the space because so much of it has to happen in person. You need to go see your customers. You need to show up at conferences, attend committee meetings, and really build trust over time. And that can seem really daunting when you're starting to build in the space, especially if you're relatively low resources or you're bootstrapping a company. And so I recommend what is called the product market fit matrix because it will allow you as a founder to figure out which markets to sort of force rank and prioritize, both in terms of conference attendance and in terms of cold outreach, because there are a lot of markets you could go into. And I see a ton of GovTech companies struggling because they throw every noodle against the wall and every market looks really shiny. But at the end of the day, there's a small subset of customers that are ready to buy you now. So I like to think about sort of in terms of a Google sheet. It can really be as simple as that. And this is an art, not a science. It's just an exercise that I ask my founders to do, to think about who is actively buying their product. And maybe you haven't gotten any customers yet and you think like, well, I don't know who actively buys my product. Who is actively saying no to your product? And it's starting to think about the social and the demographic and the economic and the location and the relational data that defines each of these customers. It's not just we want to smell into. Perfect. We want to sell into small cities in the Midwest. That's going to have you calling a lot of duds. What I'm interested in is I believe that our clear buyers are between 15 and 35,000 people. They tend to have a strong mayoral system. They have received federal funding around fire departments buying new products. We know their fire departments have a budget surplus, and they have a growing city population that needs to be covered by more fire departments, but they have a finite number of them. So we need to equip them with force multiplication tools. And we know that these 50 cities are perfectly qualified under those demographics. Great. Where are those 50 cities going to be? Which conferences are they attending? Who can you call to get one clear sponsor? How can you set them up for success to tell all the other fire departments how great this new tool is? I want to see founders having given that level of granular thought as an investor into who they're selling into, but also it will save you a ton of time and resources if you can start narrowing down who you're selling your product into. It feels very counterintuitive. You want a really big top of funnel. All revenue feels like good revenue, but this will shorten those horribly long sales cycles that can accompany governments and is absolutely worth the exercise to really think about the next level of who buys your product. So that is the product market fit matrix. You put in all those factors. So at the top, you've got the social, economic, geographic, demographic factors. Along the vertical side, you have a list of every city and or every state. And thank God for ChatGPT and other tools now, you can fill in a lot of information very quickly. You will assign a weighted rank to how important you think any of those factors are in who's buying your product. And you will essentially force rank an initial market approach as a great way to beta test your thesis on who you think is the perfect customer for you. Saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of resources, allows you to do the research of figuring out your customers without necessarily needing to call or meet with every one of them before they tell you no. I'm looking forward to answering any questions in the comments or any ideas of future videos you'd like to see. Thanks.